This is a review of the iHome iDL45, which is a lightning dock with a dual charging station, one on top and one in the back, and it features an FM stereo clock radio. The back is a USB charge and play port for any type of iPhone device. In addition, on the back, because it's a USB, you can also use it to input and charge other devices. Inside the box, you'll find the iHome docking station itself, which is a clock radio. You'll find the AC wall adapter. You'll find a caution message about how to dock and undock your tablet in particular. The lightning connector here does move back and forth, and it's just warning you, do not lean the iPad forward and pull it off, as you might break it. You're supposed to lift your iPad straight up and down. You'll find a brief brochure of the other iHome products, and you'll find an instruction manual in both French and English. This is a close-up of the AC wall adapter. It operates from 100 to 240 volts AC and 50 to 60 hertz. Its output's 12 volts at 2.7 amps. It's also UL listed, which I like. The cable here, from the tip of the prongs here to the tip of the plug, is 71 inches long. Going across the top of the radio here you see a stand on the back that your tablet can lean against, so to help support the weight. This is a lightning connector for an iPhone 5, 5S, or 5C, also for the newest iPod, and also for the latest iPads. Here you have the volume decrease and increase. Here you have the alarm button 1, the alarm button 2. This is the USB play pause button. There's a USB port on the back of the radio that can also be plugged in to charge and play music from a device. Then here you have a nap button. Here you have a radio preset button in order to program the radio so that you can skip through any one of 6 different channels that you have. Here you have a plus and minus button here for setting and also for skip and search functions. Up above here is a clock button that you can use to set the clock. But the device also has an automatic clock setting mode that when you plug in your iPhone to the plug here, it will automatically sync the clock with the radio. Across the front here you have a power off on. You have a mode button, which allows you to select the FM radio, for example. Here you have a play and pause button for the docking station here, so whatever's plugged in, you can start the music and stop the music. You have a built-in equalizer. You have a sleep button. And you have in the front here a snooze and dimmer button that allows you to snooze your alarm or to dim the display so it doesn't bother you at night. Back here, you'll see the input plug from that the AC wall charger will plug into. Then you have here a plug that you can plug in a USB cable for an iPhone, an iPod, or an iPad. And then you have an auxiliary input that you can plug in any device that doesn't have Bluetooth. Also on the bottom here, you'll see a cable. That's the antenna for the FM radio. It gets very good FM reception, but this helps a lot. And on the very bottom down here, you'll see a cover that can be removed. Under this cover is a battery that will keep the alarm clock set and running if you lose power during the night. This little tab here insulates the battery so it doesn't work, and if you pull this tab out, the battery automatically connects to the radio and the backup function starts. See, I've plugged in the clock radio. It has the wrong date and time, and you'll also see this little battery flashing over here. That tells you that the battery in the bottom is dead. It's not dead. I haven't pulled the tab out yet, but that's a good warning when it's time to replace the battery. See, I've removed the cover from the back of the radio. There's that battery I was telling you about that backs up the radio, so in case you lose power, you still get an alarm. The battery is a CR2450. It's readily replaceable, so if the little battery on the front of the radio is flashing, you know it's time to change that. I have an iPhone 5S. It's roughly 2:32 p.m. I'm going to dock that, and you can watch the clock in the front, and you'll watch down here. You heard the phone chirp, and you see the clock and calendar automatically updated by simply syncing with the phone. Here on the iPhone, you can see 2 functions. One's called iHome Sleep and one's called iHome Set. Those apps were downloaded from the iTunes Store and they're free. The iTunes Set function allows you to program the radio using your phone. You can also plug it in and do firmware updates of the radio automatically. It'll sync it here, find the update, and download it to the radio. It says to please dock your iHome device, which is this, dock it into the station here. I'm now going to set this up here and line it up. You heard the phone beep, and now you can see that all the functions that you can control here on top of the buttons, you can also program with your phone using clear text. If you want to set alarms, for example, or tune the radio, or adjust the volume, you can all do it right here by simply touching that item, like the volume, and setting it. As you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see where it says search for an update. That's an update for the firmware. I'm going to touch that and see what happens. As you can see, it now says that there's a new update of the software. The firmware is version 1.7.0, and what's in here is version 1.5.1. It asks if I want to update. I'm going to tell it to upgrade. And it says it's downloading the firmware, and it's going to install it down here. And if you look down here, you'll see it's flashing that it's installing. At the top up here it says, caution, do not remove this device from the docking station until this process is complete. At the bottom here, you'll see it says that it's upgrading, and it actually gives you the percentage of completion. And now we're going right at 100%. And it says down here, it says firmware updated. And you can see on the phone, it's just chirped. And it says that the upgrade is to this docking station. But what I want to show you is that I like dealing with this. As you can see here, I can come down here to device alarm 1. I can turn the alarm on with the touch program. It's on. I can tell it to repeat every day. I want to wake to the whatever's plugged in this front dock. I can set the wake up volume, and I can set the wake up time. So to me, this is a lot easier with clear text programming to set it on the phone than it is to do it down here. See, I've got alarm 1 set for 6 a.m. Show you here across the top. If I want to take a nap, I can press the nap button, and it sets an alarm in 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 30, 45, 60, 90, and 120 minutes, and back to off. You can also see here the sleep button. If I take this sleep button and touch it, I can set it to go off in 120, or 90, or 60. And you can also see that while I'm doing that, it's actually changing the parameters on the phone up here so it matches the two. Nice feature. And what that does is it will slowly play your music and ramp the volume down to the time you've set, like 20 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes away, and shut it off when you're asleep. You can see I've pressed the radio preset, and when I get to the station that I want, this is Q95.
Is in a few minutes. Laura Steele
I hit
on
this
the way out.
radio preset,
tonight from 7 until
and now that's
have a great rest
position number 1 is Q95. Just so you know, you can set up to 6 channels on this radio of your 6 favorite FM alarms using the buttons here or the phone. I like the fact that everything interacts and these displays agree. When you set the alarms, you can set it to play music from the FM radio. You can set it to play music from this docking port or from the one on the back. In addition, if you come up here and touch device 1 and you say where it says wake to, you touch that, and up pops a list. You can play the dock, a dock playlist, USB dock, the USB playlist, the FM radio, or wake to a buzzer. Meantime, while all this is going on, your phone, you can see up here, is charging. So it's a nice feature. Your phone's charged, it's docked, and you can play the music. You can see you have the equalizer where you can set the treble, the bass, the balance, and the 3D effect. The display is on full brightness. If you like, you can press this and dim it down. I like to have it dim at night because I don't like to have the room bright. You can make it really dim and go all the way down, and it pops back up. So you can adjust the intensity to suit your needs. One of the beauties of this device is you have plugged in your iPhone, for example. You can have a playlist, your favorite album. And if you want to listen to music, you just set the volumes up and press the button and start playing. And as you can see, I can control the iPhone just simply by touching these buttons. To show that it will dock an iPad. This is an iPad Air. And as you swing down here, you'll see that it also, at the same time, has plugged into it an iPhone 5S that's plugged into the rear port. Excellent product. It performed well. It's got good sound. It has a lot of features. I love the clock radio. I love the flexibility of charging and playing 2 devices plus an FM radio. I rate this at 5 stars. This review is done by JJ CEO. I'd like to tell you I received a sample for test and evaluation, and I promise to give a fair and honest review.